Welcome back to the Messy Cook 1970. Today I'm making cream cheese frosting for some cupcakes we're making, and those are currently in the oven baking. They're for one of our ladies, Sabrina, who is leaving our department to go on to bigger and better things. And just so you know, this is a really simple frosting. I don't have exact measurements, but I do have some exact measurements, so I'll let you know along the way what we have. Right now I'm just going to lift this up so you can see here, I have a half a cup of butter. You can use margarine if you don't have butter. A whole bunch of icing sugar. We'll measure that as we go. I'm going to use some pure vanilla extract. A regular, not pure is fine if you have that too. A pinch of salt there. And, a cup of Philadelphia cream cheese, just plain cream cheese. Don't buy the whipped stuff, just buy the solid block. You also want the butter and the cream cheese to come to room temperature. So I'm going to get the rest of my stuff ready and we're going to show you how to get this going. Okay, so I've got the cream cheese and the butter in my KitchenAid. Use a hand mixer as well. Like I said, room temperature is best. I got home about a half an hour ago and forgot to take it out. But I also didn't want to leave it sitting all day. So we're going to get this going and just whip until it gets nice and soft. So we want to get those combined until they're a little bit light and fluffy. So we're just going to put that on high, let it whip, mix together, and it'll take just a couple of minutes. I like this light and fluffy, so we're just going to let it mix together well, and we'll come back. You also want to remember periodically to scrape down the sides here. Like I said, this is still a little bit colder than I'd want it to be, but it's going to mix fine anyhow. So even if you start off with a little bit cold, just a few moments of or minutes of mixing here is going to loosen that up. So we're going to let this go another moment or two. All right, so I've got this whipped to where I want it to be. You can see it's nice and light yellow, pale yellow there. That's what we're looking for. So we're going to put this back down here. I'm going to put literally a pinch of salt. It just kind of balances up the flavor. So we're just going to add that little pinch of salt in, which is probably 1/8 of a teaspoon if you need measurement. And I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. If you don't have pure, the artificial extract is fine as well. I wouldn't put in vanilla seeds like from the pod. It just kind of puts the speckles through. It's nice, but it's a little bit overpowering. So just a teaspoon of that for now is great. And we're going to get this mixed, and then I'm going to start adding in the icing sugar. Okay, we'll get this going. All right, so I've mixed those in. I'm going to start adding in the icing sugar. This recipe, I'll let you know how many cups we're going to get when we're done. I'm going to add 1 cup at a time. I pre-sifted the icing sugar. So we're going to put a little bit in at a time. We don't want it puffing all over the place. So we're going to get that mixed. This recipe should do a minimum of at least 24 cupcakes, and I put a fair amount on the top, or at least a double layer 9-inch cake, whether it be round or square, so that should work. So I'm going to turn this up a little bit here. Let's show you what's happening. Going to add in another, I'll turn that back down, sorry. Going to add in another cup, so this is cup number 2 of icing sugar. Again, make sure you pre-sift it. You want any lumps out. Most of them will come out if you're whipping this pretty good, but you just don't want little puffs of icing sugar in the middle of your piped on icing on the top of your cupcakes. So we're going to turn this up, let this whip a little bit. And I'm going to continue to add cups until I get the consistency I want, and we're going to scrape down in between each addition of icing sugar. Okay, so I've just added the 3rd cup, and you can see here the consistency. I'm going to pull this up so you can see this consistency you can use. It's a little bit drippy, as you can see there. If I just shake that, it's a little bit drippy or thinner. Okay, this would be perfect if you're doing a bundt cake and you want to drizzle kind of around the top. This would be perfect consistency, but we want a good not super stiff but fairly stiff consistency. So if we have this out for a couple of hours, we want to be sure that that shape is going to hold for the piping for the icing. So we're going to add a few more cups. Okay, as you can see, this is almost the consistency I want. It's pretty thick there. I have added I've added 6 cups of icing sugar here. Of course, I don't have a knife when I need it, but we're going to grab a spoon just to give you an idea of what the consistency is. This is pretty thick. It will fall off the spoon. Oh, sorry, a little close in there. So this is pretty thick. I want to do just a little bit more. I did add in a couple of tablespoons of half and half. And the reason I did that is because I realized I have to do 30 cupcakes, not 24, because my hubby wants a few for a treat. So I've got 6 cups of icing sugar in there, and I'm going to add in about another half a cup, and we're going to see what consistency that gives us. And I think that we're going to be just about there. So these are the tricks you can use. Like if you look and go, oh my God, that's not enough, add a couple tablespoons of cream, half and half, even milk will work, or a little more butter or a little more cream cheese. And then it will give you a thinner consistency for icing, the icing, and then you can just add in more icing sugar until you get the quantity you want. So we're going to continue to mix, and I'll be right back, and hopefully we'll be where we need to be. All right, so I have it to the consistency I want. You can see this is nice and thick here. There we go. I've scraped everything down. This is the last scrape down. I just want to make sure I get absolutely everything. I'm going to push this out of the mixer, and then we'll let this whip for about 1 minute just to add a little bit of air into it so it's not super heavy feeling on the mouth. And then we're going to get this into some bags and get ready for piping. So we'll come right back. All right, so I've got to the consistency I wanted. So this was half a cup of butter, 1 cup of cream cheese, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, or you can use any flavoring you want. If you're doing carrot cake, maple is nice as well. I did 7 total cups of icing sugar. I would normally do 6, but I added a bit of cream just to get a little bit more icing because I realized like I said, I needed to ice a few more cupcakes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up. I use these, reusable bags. So I have a star tip, which I like to use. So I'm going to squish it in the bottom till it pops out there. We're going to pop this, whatever container you have. I just use a measuring cup. If you have a bigger measuring cup, that'll work too. And I'm just going to try to plop this icing in there. Use my finger to push it down, etc., etc. It's a bit of a sticky mouth, so I'm going to continue to fill this and get it ready. And you can see here I have 30 red velvet cupcakes. They're just cooling right now. Once they're cool, I do have a trick if you're traveling with them, how to decorate, and it's not decorate first and then put in the containers. I put the container first, so I'll show you that as soon as we get there. So I'm going to just get this filled up. Okay, all back. The cupcakes are cold. I have bagged up all of the icing here in my bag. Squeezed it down as best I can. Best bet is just to kind of fold it, make it a little bit squeeze out the top, but that's not the end of the world. And we're just, there we go. So that kind of pushes it down a little bit. And we're just going to push till we see it come out the end a little bit. There we go. So that's what we're looking for. Now, my trick when I'm going to be taking these somewhere is I put them in my to-go containers first and then I ice them. So that way, when I pick them up at the end, I'm not, jamming my hands in the icing. So what I do is I like this decoration here. I just go around into the center and just pop up. So you don't need tons. Put any tip on you like. If you like a smaller tip, you want to make them decorative. In some other way, you want to use just a perfectly round tip. The round tip makes a really nice piping as well. And that just depends on what you're doing it for. And add color. Like I said, you can also add different flavorings. I like just simple and plain. Sometimes at Halloween I'll do these and I'll do them in orange. And I tried black, but I couldn't quite get black, so I did it into like a dark gray frosting and made some little spider webs and decorations and whatnot on the top. It's a nice treat as well. So yeah, so I hope you enjoy. I'm going to continue to pipe these and we'll come back as soon as I got them all done. Okay, so I'm all done icing here. So I'll scroll back out. I have 24 for Sabrina's potluck and 6 for home. You can see I ran out, or started to run out here, so I don't have quite as much, but these ones are for my house, so no big deal. So again, enjoy the recipe. I hope you like this. This is lovely, lovely cream cheese frosting. Cupcakes, cheesecake, whatever you like to put it on. Color it, flavor it elsewhere, or otherwise if you like other than vanilla. And yeah, don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't already. Click the notifications button, that little bell there, so whenever I have some new recipes come up, you'll get a notification for those. Last tip on these, please be sure to put them in the refrigerator until about an hour or so before you're about to serve them, okay? Have a great day. Thanks for joining me, and we'll have some more recipes coming soon. Take care.